Hi travelers, today I'll be talking about everything you need to know about Bennett's build. Whenever you want him as a support or a hybrid sub-DPS support, I've got the ultimate guide for you. Let's dive right in. Let's start with explaining his talents. Bennett's normal attacks are pretty standard SWAT slashes, nothing fancy here, either for support or hybrid build. You won't use this much, so don't level it up. Unless you have his C6, where they can become more impactful with Pyro Infusion, which I'll talk about later. Next we have his elemental skill Passion Overload, which has two options. Press the skill for a quick pyro slash. It's great for applying pyro and generating energy. Other option is to hold the skill to charge it up for stronger hits. Be careful because Bennett knocks himself back if you overcharge it. For support builds, you'll mostly use the press version to generate energy and keep his burst ready, but if you're playing him as a sub-DPS, you can charge it up to deal more damage. Next up is Bennett's Elemental Burst. Fantastic Voyage. This burst creates a field that does two things. First one, if a character's health inside the circle is below 70%, they'll regenerate HP every few seconds, with the amount scaling of Bennett's max HP. Second one is if character's health is above 70%, they'll receive an attack bonus based on Bennett's base attack, which includes attack from leveling him up and weapons base attack, so it's important to upgrade him and his weapon to level 90 to maximize the buff. Let's talk about how to prioritize Bennett's talents. Most important is Elemental Burst, then Elemental Skill, and normal attacks are basically useless unless you have C6. Now, let's take a moment to talk about Bennett's passive talents. First up, we have Rekindle. This talent decreases the cooldown of Bennett's elemental skill by 20%. It's a great boost for both hybrid and support builds, allowing you to generate more energy and deal pyro damage more frequently. Next is Fear Enough. While inside his elemental burst field, his elemental skill cooldown is cut in half, meaning you can spam it for more energy and damage. And also Bennett won't get launched when overcharging his skill at charge level 2. And lastly, there's It Should Be Safe, a passive that reduces the time for expeditions in Mondstadt by 25%. While it doesn't directly affect combat, it's a nice bonus for gathering resources faster. Now, let's talk about artifacts. Here's what you need to maximize his potential. For a support build, the best option is 4-piece Noblesse Oblige set. It busts his elemental burst damage and also gives a 20% attack boost to your entire team for 12 seconds, making it perfect for a support role. Let's talk about the main stat for Bennett's artifacts. For Sans, HP is generally your best option here to increase his healing. The more HP he has, the better his healing output will be. But if you're finding that his burst is recharging too slow, you could consider putting energy recharge. For a circlet, here you have two good options, healing bonus or HP percent. Now for the substat, you'll want to look for energy recharge, attack percent, and HP. For a hybrid build, 4-piece Noblesse is still the best set for Bennett, but you can also use 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, which busts his elemental burst damage by 25% of his energy recharge. For the main stats, you want energy recharge on Sans, especially if you're using 4-piece Emblem, or attack percent to boost overall damage from both his burst and elemental skill. On Goblet, put pyro damage bonus, and on Circlet, you want to put crit rate or crit damage depending on your substat, which you should prioritize in this order: energy recharge, crit rate, crit damage, attack, and HP. Let's move on to the weapons. For a support build, you mostly want Skyward Blade or Aquilia Favonia because of their high base attack, and for free-to-play options we have Favonia's Sword, the Alley Flash, and Sapwood Blade. For a hybrid build, I would recommend Mist Splitter Reforge, Primordial Jade Cutter, Light of Foliar Incision, Summit Sharper, Harange Pakufutsu, Skyward Blade, Freedom Swarm, and for 4-star options, the Alley Flash, Blackcliff Longsword, the Black Sword, or Iron Sting. Now that we've gone through how to build him, let's take a look at his constellations. First, we have C1. Bennett's attack buff from Fantastic Voyage no longer has an HP restriction, and you get an additional 20% base attack. At C2, when Bennett's HP falls below 70%, he gets a 30% energy recharge boost, which helps get his elemental burst back faster. C3 increases the level of Passion Overload by 3. With C4, using a normal attack after Passion Overload adds an extra hit that deals 135% of the damage from the second attack. C5 increases the Fantastic Voyage by 3, making his healing and attack buff even stronger. And finally, C6 gives characters using sword, claymore or polearm weapons a 15% pyro damage bonus and infuses their weapons with pyro. If you wonder if you should activate his C6, take this tip. If you don't use Bennett with teams with characters like Eula, Ayaka, Keqing and Chongyun, then yes, because every new character that comes with elemental infusion skills always comes with the "can be overwritten" in their kit. Also, C6 is really good if you have pyro characters in your team like Hu Tao, Diluc, Shanling, Thoma and Dia. Let's move on to the team comps. There isn't much to talk about because Bennett is so flexible and basically good for any team, but if you really have no clue, these are examples for Bennett teams. So, whenever you go for hybrid or full support, Bennett is one of the most valuable characters in Genshin. With his incredible healing and buffs, it's no wonder he's so liked by Genshin players. Thanks for watching. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe for more Genshin content. Let me know in the comments, how do you like to use Bennett in your teams? See you next time and happy adventuring, travelers!